Welcome to Creating a World of Women of Significance on Global Voice Radio with your host, Margie O'Kane. Listen and learn how you can create a legacy for women and girls around the world. Women of significance can change the world. Here is your host, Margie O'Kane.
Hello everybody and welcome. I'm your host, Margie O'Kane. My show's all about expanding qualities underdeveloped within you, unleashing your potential and continuously improving self. This is another in a series about a blueprint for a life of significance, a guide to continuously recode your life. Before I begin, I'm indebted to all those wise people whose teachings I have discovered. What I share with you would not be possible without my self-discovery journey. My background is in client-centered care, and I have worked as a registered nurse, midwife, and consultant for over 50 years as a manager and director of nursing. My talks are outtakes of what I have learned, what I believe to work, and my personal experiences of life and of dealings with people in various leadership positions. Today is a little different. It is a little of my story. You are never too old, and it's never too late. Greatness doesn't have an expiry date. I am in the last quarter of my life, and I have purple hair. It has been said, aging is not lost youth, but a new stage of opportunity and strength. Imagine if your life was like a movie and you could yell cut whenever you made a mistake to do it again. However, we only have one life to live, and there is no second chance. How confident are you in your ability to make the best use of your life you have left? What goals and dreams must you still accomplish? What more do you want to do? For successful aging, we need to redefine later life as a time of growth instead of inevitable decline. I am no guru, nor do I have a remarkable story to tell of overcoming some major problem or completing any world-beating event. I am someone who has experienced life with all its variables. I have known joys and experienced the depth of despair. I have overcome what I have experienced with grace, and I have learned from these experiences. I'm an ordinary person who has put extraordinary effort in all I do. However, all my life, I have lived the life of the matrix. I have done what life expected me to do, and I obeyed. I rebelled often. However, I was pulled back into line. I have never spoken my truth. I have failed spectacularly in many ventures. I have had to overcome certain fears and issues, such as lack of vision, lack of commitment, unwilling to risk, willingness to settle, failure to accept, fear of being alone, fear of a failing mind, fear of being invisible, fear of fading beauty, fear of lack, fear that I haven't lived, and fear that I won't be remembered. Have you ever woken up one morning and thought, I've been a great mum, great daughter, a great sister, and a great wife. I've spent my life being there for others, but I have not spent my life the way I want. For most part, I didn't know what I wanted. I knew I deserved things. However, I never believed I was worthy of them. I was conditioned at an early age to be there for others. I went a little further. I became a servant rather than of being of service. This is how I felt one morning a year ago when I didn't renew my practicing certificates for my registered nursing and midwifery. I concluded that over 50 years was enough. However, I was not prepared for the struggle within me. It was as if I had cut off my right arm. I felt an emptiness, a gap. Suddenly, I had lost all my identity. What would I call myself? For a while, I kept saying, I have just retired as a nurse and midwife. Yes, I could identify myself as a mother and a wife and a grandmother. That was different. I was proud that I'd brought hundreds of babies into the world, saved many lives, and was kind and considerate to my patients. And I was with them when they took their last breath. From the age of 10, I knew this was my destiny and passion. Turning 60 didn't worry me as I was gainfully employed. However, I was existing, not living. Looking after a father with dementia, coping with the day-to-day activities that one faces in everyday life. Around 68, though, I did start to question my place in my world. I noticed that being older in the workforce, I was dismissed when I suggested an improvement and was given jobs that no one else wanted. I needed to change, and I was not sure how to go about it. My mind was saying, there's got to be more than this. Struggling with this realization, I analysed my skills, my knowledge and passions. The result was that I came up with a vision to create a global movement of 1 million baby boomers to become women of significance. Women who want to give more and share their stories, their wisdom and their skill. To support each other and empower the next generation of women to lead, to spread joy, love and laughter. I believe when women come together, greatness happens. These women want to be part of something special, something big. They want to feel proud of the work they do and the difference they are making. They want to feel good about the destination they're headed for. So, at the end of their life, they will have no regrets. They have made a difference and lived a life complete. Are you a woman who is tired of being invisible, sick of just existing, sick of going with the status quo, sick of sitting back and allowing the days just to wash over you? You have lived through joy, heartache and hardship and have the scars to prove it. You believe there is more to life than you are having right now. You may have a good life, but want a great life, but not sure how to go about it. Do you want to have the skills and attitudes to live the life of significance? Do you have it in you to create a different life? Are you one of the 3% who want to make a difference? Do you crave to leave a legacy? Do you want to spend the next 10, 15, 20 years being an inspiration to yourself, your family, and your communities? Do you want to put your aches and pains on the back burner and share your wisdom with the world to be remembered and leave a legacy? If this is you, please keep listening. It has been said that we're the lucky generation. We are living longer and have more resources than our parents or grandparents had. It is what Mary Bateson calls the age of active wisdom. It gives us impetus to do something meaningful from the wisdom of over 6 decades of experience. We have the best years of our lives in front of us. For this to happen, though, it takes courage, resilience, enthusiasm, and the will to change yourself. Growing older gives us the permission to be, do, and have what we want, not what is expected of us. Now is not the time to sit still. As baby boomers, we blazed the world in the 1960s and 1970s. Now it is time to blaze the world in our 60s, 70s, and 80s, and even longer. We need to plough through feeling invisible, plough through aches and pains, and create that legacy we dreamed of as younger women. Do something to be remembered, have no regrets, and live a life complete. We know the time is now. We know it's time to make a difference to ourselves, our families, and our communities, to leave this world a better place. Let us find a vision for our last years. Let us understand the values that drive us. Let us have our confidence return. Let us think big and show the world our emotional strength. Let us find our true selves. We need to grow into our gifts. We have so much more to explore at our age. We don't need to worry about what others think. Now, life should be living under our terms, not someone else's. Don't let others tell us how to live our lives. Do as we please and don't apologize for anyone for living your life. Remember, we are a valuable resource of knowledge and experience. Think of all the technical, historical, global and social changes we have witnessed. We grew up in a time when television was new. We survived lead paint, no helmets on bikes, no seatbelts, the school strap, house chores, and we're still here to tell the tale. As we reach our 60s and 70s, we cannot afford to sit still. No one is going to change our lives for us. If we want to build the future that we deserve, we need to do it ourselves. This means that we need to change our mindset. We can't afford to see retirement as a time for sitting still and relaxing. We need to keep our minds sharp and our bodies fit. Time is growing short. There are unexplored adventures ahead of us. We are at the age of life as grown women that we have stopped worrying about what other people think or following rules. It is time to follow our own rules and decide on whose opinions you want to listen to. Decide not to let others' opinions dictate your life. If people disrespect us, it's time to speak up. Decide to get rid of any toxic relationships that we're hanging on to. Laugh and learn from our mistakes. Not to be sheep. Go solo if we must. Decide that our bodies are perfect as they are. Decide to dress how we want. Stop worrying about not being in control. We were born worthy of love and belonging. It is time to show up and be seen. Your life and time is precious, so make the most of each day. Take care of your needs first. You need to get a little selfish. Get out of your comfort zone. Do something every day that scares you. You'll not grow as a person if you don't. Be passionate in everything you do. Be a role model for all women. Let go of the things you cannot control. There is no such thing as perfection. Laugh at yourself. Live your values and show gratitude in the small things as well as the big things. People will remember you by the way you made them feel, not what you did for them. We can do anything that we set our minds to. We just need to believe in ourselves. Life should be living it under your terms, not someone else's. Don't let others tell you how to live your life. Don't listen to the media telling you what you need to buy or do to live a life of happiness. Do as you please and don't apologize for anybody for living your life. In 2007, the Dalai Lama said to me, "Have no regrets, put meaning in what you do and have a peaceful mind." Throughout your life, you'll face some sort of regret. However, the question is, would you rather regret doing something or not doing something? Personally, I would rather regret doing something than regret not doing something. I would rather beg for forgiveness than ask for permission. However, it wasn't always like this. I have been blessed to have nursed the dying, and they have taught me how to live. I have never heard them say, "I wish I had stayed at work more." It was that they wished they had the courage to live lives true to themselves as opposed to the lives of others, what others expected of them. Let that sink in for a moment. These are not philosophical or hypothetical ponderings, but rather real-life reflections from people who knew they were down to their last moments. These people didn't live the lives they wanted to live. They felt a call to adventure or a call for a path that challenged and fulfilled them, and yet refused the call because they didn't want to ruffle any feathers or were scared of what that path might reveal. They instead chose the easy, safe, non-conflicting path, a life that others expected them to live, but now they would give anything for an extra life or to try again. and take the more adventurous route. We are stuck in the matrix. I'll never forget that jaw-dropping scene from The Matrix in which the story's hero, Neo, learns what the matrix is. He wakes up in the real world and discovers he's been living his entire life inside a computer program designed to keep him prisoner. Although the movie is well over a decade old, I still think about my own life in the matrix and how I can help others break free from it. Most of us are trapped in it without our knowledge. We've all been programmed to follow a specific set of rules that govern how we exist. For the past 80 years plus, they've gone something like this. Get a job for the most money you can, buy the biggest house you can, the nicest car, the biggest television, and work your butt off for 40 years until you retire at 65 to fully enjoy a good life. This is the wool that has been pulled over our eyes to keep us complacent and subdued. We are taught and told by everybody around us that this is just the way things are, and we're supposed to follow along and not cause any trouble. I'm here to tell you we need to break that. I've been all through that, and it's not true. You need to understand yourself. Who are you specifically? Play to your strengths and passions and build up your strengths. Next time you make a decision, ask yourself if it's really yours. When you let other people determine your value, you give up too much of yourself and risk letting your blessings go to waste. Don't waste your opportunity to help shape the world in your eyes. We all have the potential to do wonders. It's just that a lot of us make up excuses and state the risks involved. There are risks either way, the risks of getting started and the risk of losing the potential to do something great. Which one are you going to choose? I've learned that failure doesn't kill you, and that the earlier you do it, the easier it is to recover. You've probably heard of the expression, failure is not an option. Oh, really? Well, here's the reality check. Failure had better be an option, because whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. If you go through life with the philosophy that failure is not an option, then you'll never have any good opportunities to learn. The formula for success is quite simple. Double your rate of failure. These days, we aren't often taught that the key to success is to double our rate of failure. Not long ago, I realized something as I stood in front of the mirror. Even if I squinted hard, even if the light was just right, even if I was wearing makeup and a flattering outfit, no one was ever going to mistake me for a sweet young thing anymore. I saw the lines around my eyes didn't disappear when I stopped smiling. As I stood there contemplating the changes that had somehow snuck up on me, at first I felt a twinge of sorrow for my lost youth. Where did it go? Where did I go? And then I began to appreciate my imperfections, particularly now after time's winged chariot has pulled into the driveway. I believe that we need to be respectful of age, both in things and in ourselves. We need to be content with what we have now, even though we're striving for more. Age has a mellowness and a comfortableness that I increasingly savour. I think of Jackie, 98-year young, who teaches me that growing older means growing deeper, wiser and more joyful. Or Rebecca, who proves that grey hair can be stylish and sexy, and who still attracts men like she was 25. I look at the celebrities who have obviously gone to the plastic surgeon's office one too many times. I'll take my lines, thank you, especially if the alternative means I have that permanent startled expression, a parody of true youth. I think a little wisdom is just what we need these days amid economic trials and our culture's never-ending emphasis of success. Too many people live in a perpetual state of dissatisfaction with what they have. They throw away good relationships in a vain attempt for a perfect one, or continually pine for what they don't have or what they once had and lost. I've seen friends deeply regret divorcing their spouses. We need to accept our own flaws as well. Say you're not a perfect mother and your kids aren't perfect either. Congratulations, welcome to the human race. And all those people you think are perfect, they are struggling also. I know that my moments of joy will pass, but so will my pains and sorrows. I will try to live them, learn their lessons, and let them go. And in the meantime, a few laugh lines are proof that I've enjoyed the journey. So let's move forward to create a masterpiece. Let's consider some key areas we need to work on. Key area 1 is know yourself. Who are you? What makes you tick? What are your strengths and weaknesses? Why do you do what you do? What are your internal drivers that make you, you? Are they working for you or against you? Do you work for results or do you make excuses? What is important to you in all areas of your life? You need to question things like, does my life reflect my values? What do I want my life to be about? Am I putting my time and energy into the areas that are important to me? What areas of my life am I shortchanging? Am I giving too much power to negative influences? Am I unknowingly closing out people I care about? Am I cultivating and making room for the influences I want to come in my life? Remember, everything starts with a decision to make a choice. To choose to get out of your comfort zone and learn new skills, to risk failure and rejection. Key area number 2, be aware of your thinking. Thoughts are like magnets. They attract compatible thoughts and circumstances. Our thoughts and feelings and the visualizations we carry in our minds influence our life. By changing them, we change our life. This means we should be aware of our thoughts and how we feel about them, or else we may get things and create situations that we don't want. Our thoughts create our feelings. Our feelings create our bodily sensations. The power of our intentions guides our actions and attitudes, and it shapes our futures. Be aware of what you are thinking and saying to yourself all the time. You'll get what you focus on, so focus on what you want and not what you don't want. If you keep thinking what you are thinking, you'll keep doing what you are doing, and you'll keep getting what you are getting. Key area number 3. Live each day as a mini-life, or live each day as your last. Live each day like it's your last. You've heard this said many times before. However, have you ever given it any real thought? Using this strategy forces us to think about your priorities. It forces you to stop wasting your time and energy and focus on the most important things and people in your life. It helps you make better choices, to treasure your time and what is important to you, living your life to the full. This then impacts on those around you, and you make their lives even better. As mentioned earlier, I've had the honour and pleasure of nursing the dying. It has been the happiest nursing I have ever done. Those patients taught me to say the 4 most important sentences to loved ones every day. I love you. Thank you. Forgive me, and I forgive you. I was taught generosity, patience, acceptance, and love for myself and my fellow humans. I was reminded what is important in life. The dying wished they had the courage to be true to themselves rather than to the expectations of others. Often these people didn't live the lives they wanted due to feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. They chose a safe route, lived with excuses, not results. However, each patient found their peace before they died, every one of them. When questioned about any regrets they had, or would they have done things differently, there were many themes that would arise. I wish I had the courage to live my life true to myself and not what's expected of me. I wish I hadn't worked so hard and spent more time with my loved ones. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. I wish I had kept in touch with my friends. I wish I allowed myself to be happier. In 2007, I was managing a hospice service and the Dalai Lama visited. He stressed that we should have no regrets, put meaning in what we do, and have a peaceful mind. Throughout your life, you'll face some sort of regret. The question is, though, would you rather regret doing something or not doing something? Personally, I would rather regret doing something than regret not doing something. I would rather beg for forgiveness than ask for permission. We all have something stored in our memory bank that we wish we could have done differently, or something we wish we hadn't done. As we get older, we learn and grow, but that doesn't mean we must regret what we did before we learned to do things differently. These decisions that help us to grow into strong and knowledgeable people we are today. We need to get rid of negative thoughts, the could-haves, the might-haves, and should-haves, and start living a life that won't make us feel regretful. Key area 4. How do you want to be remembered? I want to be remembered as a generous person, generous with my time, my money, my counsel, and my friendship. Therefore, I live each day with this in mind. Focus on being the best person you can be. I once read a sign that said, "Don't be afraid of getting older. Be afraid of getting boring." There are many people in our lives that want to be part of us. We need to be a little selfish. After a lifetime of looking after others, it is time now to create your own big dream. We are not too old to rekindle that dream, to reshape your world. It doesn't matter what your age is. We have the right to feel useful, vibrant, and alive. Underneath, we are craving to create a vision for the next chapter in our lives. Now is the time to throw off the walls we have erected around ourselves. Now is the time for us to find true self and stick with it. Now is the time for us to empower the women in our families and the wider community. Now is the time to break out of our shell and bring forth strength and wisdom. Time is running out. This is it. It is never too late to do something great. Most of us settle for less. We get busy making a living rather than making a life. We allow fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs to run the show. Key area 5. Audit your current life. To get where you want to be, you need to know where you are now. Look how you spend your time. What are you doing instead of focusing on your goals? If you really want no regrets, you need to limit any activities that are not moving towards your goals, such as watching television. What are you doing right? Work when you're at your best, either that's morning or night. Get external help when you need it. Professional help can minimize time and effort when facing big goals that may seem daunting. Also, they hold you to account when you let things slide. Now is the only time to work towards your goal. Make most of this time. Now is the time to be happy, right this moment. Not when something you're hoping for happens. You have heard many times that life isn't a rehearsal. This is it right now. This is the exact moment to feel the way you want to feel, to do the things you want to be, and to be the person you have always dreamed of becoming right now. Key area 6, belief. What are your beliefs? Belief is merely a perception of reality. What we choose to believe, therefore, determines our reality. Our attitude and behavior change to be congruent with our beliefs. However, most of us have a lot more self-limiting beliefs than constructive beliefs. This is the one big reason why we are stuck in our lives and feel as if we are victims of fate, unable to change our life. Your limiting beliefs are hiding out in the areas where you're producing your results you don't want. They have shaped everything you do. They have prevented you from seeking opportunities and have discouraged you from trying at all. There are many ways of changing a limiting belief and to achieve your masterpiece. It is important to know them and change them when necessary. Key Area 7. Remember, there are no mistakes, only learnings. Realize that it's okay to make mistakes. Name someone who hasn't. Follow your own path, but not what others want you to follow, especially now in your later years, if you haven't learnt this lesson by now. Find humour in life and events. Someone once said to me, if you're going to laugh about this later, why aren't you laughing now? Make your own decisions. Don't be influenced by others' opinions. Be grateful for everything. Be happy. Live in the now. Love people as they are and tell them. Have the courage to change things that should be changed and accept things that cannot be changed. Stay honest to yourself and become the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. Treat people with respect and compassion and live in the now. Key Area 8. Allow yourself a dream, a big dream. Now, my own passion is to help you create your masterpiece, create your legacy. Your story needs to be told. The world is waiting for you to lead the way. It is choice. The choice to change your thinking, learn new skills, and learn to make a difference. It is just a choice with a decision. To do something bigger than yourself and have fun doing it. There are millions of women baby boomers out there that are lonely, marginalized, and tired. We need to get together to join forces to create a movement of women of significance who are getting mad about being ignored. It's time to come together. You have the power now. You need to do it now. Do not wait until the time is right, as the time is never right. Balance how you use your time and resources. Focus on the things you want and on those things that make a real difference in your life. Take focused, committed, constant actions. As you allow yourself to dream big, you will find yourself moving closer and closer to achieving the real you, and along the way you will make a difference to your family and your wider community. Champion change. The world needs women to be change makers. Be a lifelong learner and be fanatic about it. Surround yourself with mentors and people smarter than you. Seek to be continually inspired by something. Therefore, are you ready to actualize your best skills, talents, and performance? Do you have the best version of you? If you died today, would your music die within you? Are you selling yourself short through negative thinking and feelings? Are you living the good life, the full life, a significant life? Have a clear vision and focus on what you want with a time frame. Challenge yourself to be the best you can be always. Visualize what you want to accomplish. See the outcome, feel the outcome, and taste the outcome. Never doubt yourself. Surround yourself with supportive, loving people. Cherish these special people and stay away from those who want to tear you down. Are you ready to rekindle your dreams and go for it? You are unique. Don't compare yourself to others. Your time is now. Spend time improving yourself. Discover how you want to be remembered and create your masterpiece. Remember, life is short. Live bold, be heard, be you, dream big, take risks, don't wait. It is not your success that matters, but your significance. Reach out to me at margie@margieokane.com. Thank you for listening. See you in the series of A Blueprint for a Life of Significance, a guide to continuously recode your life. Maggie O'Kane, signing off.
Thank you for listening. Join Margie O'Kane, host of Creating a World of Women of Significance, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on Global Voice Radio, where your voice is heard.